Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the last great television discussion show of 2019. That's right, folks. The end of The Mandalorian season 1 just hit, and my God, oh my God, I was loving every single second of it. I was waiting on bated breath after last week. Nails are just nubbed down to nothing. They're gone. I was wondering what was going to happen with Baby Yoda. I was wondering what was going to happen with Mando, with Cara Dune, with Grief Carga, and of course, IG-11. It was a fantastic, amazing episode. Finally, a good, adequate length. Solid 40 minutes of just excellent television, directed by Taika Waititi, written by Jon Favreau. Just excellent storytelling. I really liked it. Wasn't perfect, had its problems, but here we go. We're gonna be talking about it today. Got a guest here coming on in. That's right, Louis Lecca. What's going on, man?
What's up, $3 Theater, Matt? How you doing? Thanks for everyone for watching right here, man. I'm still buzzing, man.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. I had to I'm texting my brother. I'm like, did you watch Mandalorian? And he's all like, I'm out of town, don't have it on. I'm like, you suck. It's good stuff.
Dude, I don't even know where to start, man. I mean, people were saying that Disney was going to hold back on the show because it's like a Disney show, but man, are we talking spoilers yet or no?
Let's give it a few minutes for spoilers, just because I'm sure there will be people that are going to be coming in. I do need to send off a link to no, he's sleeping. The Eric Butts and I was trying to get the Eric Butts on here, and
I gotta say, this episode surprised me. It had a lot of ballsy stuff in it. That's all.
Well, I mean, I kind of viewed the last episode and this episode as like part 1 and part 2 of the finale. And last episode had some seriously good moments in it, because you and I didn't discuss it. We watched it together, right? I was in Los Angeles when we watched the episode. So you and I were talking about it. We're like, do we want to go live? It's 1 a.m. I got to fly out in the morning. So we didn't. But the way they set up the intensity of this episode, the way Deborah Chow, and I just want to, again, I have to go back to Deborah Chow. The way she built the intensity from the last episode was so good. And Taika Waititi came in and just knocked it out of the damn park.
Agreed.
Such a good finale. And there was a couple jaw-dropping moments for me too, right? And especially the tie to the Clone Wars TV show. That to me was amazing. I mean, I was not expecting it. We will talk about that. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. There's 2 things.
Is it the
Well, there's the thing at the end, and that's Rebels. And then there's the thing in the middle, which was Clone Wars. And so, I mean,
I have a feeling I know what it is.
The fact that Filoni got 2 solid references in this episode, 2 insanely solid references in the season finale, tying into his 2 animated shows, just oh my God, so good. So good. Let me just quickly tweet this out. I haven't tweeted this out yet.
Tweet everything out.
Let me go and tweet this out. Yeah.
And everyone watching, if you guys could press like and also share this link so we could get the conversation going. And everyone, I think Matt would agree with me. Everyone's opinions welcome, and if you want to talk about anything that happened in the episode, that would be great too. So don't forget to do that. I think Matt pretty much runs his channel a little bit similar to mine, where everyone's opinions welcome.
Yeah, you can like it, not like it. I mean, yep. I would assume if it's 1 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, and you're tuning into the show, the likelihood of you being a fan or at least being curious is something that's high. Again, I just okay. Before we dive into this episode, let's just take a second and go back to the beginning. It's been 7 weeks since the show premiered, and the show had so much hype leading up to that, right? It had so much hype leading up to it, to where I said multiple times that The Mandalorian Disney Plus is probably going to be what saves Star Wars, not knowing how good The Rise of Skywalker was going to be, because I still think that's pretty phenomenal. And you and I have been watching it week to week. We've been talking about it week to week. I mean, could we just stop for a second and actively go, God damn it, they did such a good job with this show. They did such an amazing thing for 8 episodes. They kept so much under wraps, right? Everything from Skywalker leaked out there, but nothing from this show leaked out. I'm so happy.
So awesome. We didn't even know the title of the episodes coming week to week. They did an awesome job with that, keeping us on the edge. Man, I don't know. I already feel the withdrawals coming in.
I know. I'm in the same boat. I'm like, okay, they're shooting season 2 right now.
So Kathleen Kennedy, I know you're watching this. John Favreau, Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, and the crew. Could you please start making an episode real quick? We need one for next Thursday. Thank you.
Yeah, please get on that right away. Please give us more episodes and everything else. God, so fucking good.
There was a lot of Nathaniel saying that there was a lot of pew pew action.
Oh, it was great.
I definitely saw that. Awesome.
It was great. It was fantastic. Yeah. TNT Freeze here. What a finale. Props to Tyga. Completely agree. Andrew, we will be talking about that. Don't want to give it up just yet. Griffin Campbell here says perfection. So first off, I want to start off with what I feel absolutely positively subverted expectations for the show. Okay. And that is the very first scene. Because to me, the very first scene featuring those 2 stormtroopers was absolutely amazing, right? Was absolutely amazing.
Spoiler territory, right?
We're moving into spoiler territory where you've got the troops, and the troops. I just think because for one, I don't know who the voices were for both of them, but one of them was definitely Jason Sudeikis, and I'm a big Jason Sudeikis fan, having watched SNL, having watched, all the horrible bosses, things like that. I really just have always enjoyed what Sudeikis brings to the table, and him bringing just kind of a very, kind of a cynical stormtrooper. I thought was really funny, and just bringing that in the way that he did, and the fact that they couldn't shoot anything.
Yeah, what was that about? Was there something wrong with their pistols?
No, it's a joke. Stormtroopers can't hit the they can't hit the wall. They can't shoot anything. I mean, that's like the joke for the entire time.
Yeah, I understand that, but it was a little bit too on the nose. So I enjoyed that. That was awesome. But
yeah,
I was wondering if there was something wrong with their guns. Maybe Baby Yoda was fiddling.
So here's a screenshot of these guys right here. These were my standout people in the episode. I was laughing so insanely hard at this scene. And I thought to myself, if they were going to do a Star Wars comedy, if they were going to do a Star Wars parody, I would love to see it centered around just the scout troopers and what it is that they've dealt with, what it is that they've seen, just because they're sitting there and I don't want to go and do you want to go piss off the Moff? I don't want to go piss off the Moff. I don't want to is he ready yet? No, but he just killed the last guy that interrupted him. So he may want to hold off a bit. Oh, okay. Check it out. And then it's he starts attacking Baby Yoda. Then I'm like, what are you doing, man?
That was shocking. Now, if anyone's listening to this, that works for Disney or anything or the production, this is actually a compliment, because from what I remember, the original Star Wars, it was still family friendly, but the bad guys were bad, and that's why we rooted for the good guys. And them hitting Baby Yoda, we wanted to see these a-holes get their ass kicked.
We wanted to see him get messed up, and we did, and we really did. I was very surprised at the amount of how badly they just got tore up, right? And as we go through talking about this, I'll be grabbing screenshots from the episode. So this is shot right here of IG,
and this here I kind of knew was going to happen, but man, when I think this is this after or before he spoke to Mando? This is before.
This is before he spoke to Mando. This was him. He's like, I'm a nurse droid. I'm here to do the nurse stuff. I'm here to look after this baby, and that's what's going to go down. And a lot of people, I was like, oh, okay, they're going to obviously say no. They're obviously going to tear him up. I get that. But what I thought was great about it was the fact that, you're pissed off at these dudes because they're punching Baby Yoda. You're like, are you serious right now? Like, you guys are just begging to get killed
several times. And then it's just but I still enjoyed it was so funny. They were punching the baby, and I was still very much laughing at the humor of it. It was such a weird scene. I'm like, you guys are gonna you guys got to die, but also you're really funny and keep talking. It was a weird moment to be involved in. But when IG shows up, you're like, oh, these guys are dead. They're just so dead. They don't even know that they're dead. They don't know how dead they are. And it was fantastic. It was great. I loved
the introduction of Moff Gideon. I thought he was, we've been kind of waiting for that a little bit all season so far, is to give us a bit more of the type of bad guy that we want to see, the type of like long-standing villain that we've been waiting for. Because we haven't had anything. Everything's been kind of like vignetted, right? We see maybe perhaps, was it, who's his names? The client, right? Werner Herzog, who was awesome. But we were really waiting, we knew he wasn't going to be in everything.
This show reminds me of I'm dating myself here, but the A-Team, where like there's Colonel, I forgot what the name of the colonel was. The show, they were fugitives from Vietnam and stuff, and they were doing their time and they escaped, and there was a colonel after them. But every episode was an individual episode of them helping someone, or in an adventure, right? But the looming over the entire show was that they're fugitives and that they're after them. So I picture the Mandalorian like that. I was talking to some guy at the gym today claiming that, it's kind of like there's nothing really going on, but I don't look at it that way. I think Mandalorian, each episode's it's an individual episode with this Baby Yoda and Moff Gideon and the Empire thing looming over the entire thing, and now we get introduced to some more stuff with the Mandalorians and stuff, which is awesome.
Well, what I like about it was there was a bit of that, and then what I enjoyed seeing with it was like finally the setup of a villain that I know we could definitely get worried over, and that is obviously Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. And Gus Fring is like, I think in my top tier when it comes to villains. But take a look at this. I also just want to point out here the cinematography of this shot, right? Of just like the Death Troopers behind him, and then you've got the Stormtroopers over there, and it's just like this really, 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 and then of course the tie in the back. But it's a really beautiful shot, right? It's so well directed by Taika Waititi, and it shows you the imposing nature of Moff Gideon, and then you get this another close up right here where it's him just kind of like, he's got a bit of swagger about him, which I really like.
Confidence.
A lot of confidence on that one. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed him standing there going like, okay, well, look, we've got this E-Web. It's going to take you out. You have your shot. And oh, by the way, can we point out how badass this guy is? He knew Mando's name. He knew Cara Dune's name, and he knew that she was a former shock trooper. Like, he knows everything.
He knows his target.
Yeah, and
can I add one thing in here, Matt, that I think that people are probably going to be overlooking? That this is after the fall of the Empire era, and you see the Stormtroopers. Some of them are all messed up, but now we're seeing the ones that are they seem to be kind of organized. They have the new uniforms, clean uniforms and stuff with the Moth coming in and stuff. But I don't know if this is done on purpose. They're slightly off. Like, they're not really being funded like they were in the age of the Empire. And I don't know if that's actually something done on purpose with the direction or if it's a budget situation, but it just works. It just works, in my opinion, because there's just something that they're not really the Empire. They're like well,
the Empire's been over for 5 years.
Correct.
Right.
They're called the Empire though, and they look off like they got their ass kicked. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, think about it. They've had no resources, no abilities to better themselves, really, to get their stuff, cleaned and fixed. So obviously what we're looking at here is a situation where a lot of these guys, but then again, even looking at this photo, right here, let me bring this one up here in a second. We can see just how clean these guys are, right? This particular image here of this Stormtrooper when it loads up here. But first, okay, we'll see here. Look at this guy. Look how clean that is. Yep. Now what you should know about this also from the production standpoint. This is a 501st. This is a guy from the 501st, and I love this. If you don't know the story, what you got to pay attention to here is the fact that Favreau, they needed stormtroopers, right? And instead of going to Disney and getting Disney and Lucasfilm to like pay all this money to like make these stormtrooper costumes, they just went to the 501st, and they got the 501st involved to come on in and then also to be on set as extras. And I personally, that's amazing, because instead of just hiring like a costumer to design it and a costumer to make it, they went back and they found actual Star Wars fans and they put actual Star Wars fans in the mix. But then going back to these guys here too, we can look to see it's not necessarily the best shot of the Scout Troopers from the beginning, but we can see that there is clearly dirt and a lot of grime surrounding it. So these guys have been out there for a while. These guys are from Werner Herzog's crew, you know?
Yeah, different groups have different budget.
Yeah, because this guy's clean and these guys are like dirty as hell. So
yeah,
I mean, that's the way that I see it, is they really you can kind of get this like hierarchy of like who's got the either the power or the play or whatever. And I think that, I mean, on just one of those odd kind of like subtle takes, it definitely strikes me as a very fascinating look to the stormtroopers, and then also what the culture of life is 5 years past the events of Return of the Jedi. And that's something that I'm hoping they explore more. I actually, as weird as it's going to seem, I'm really hoping that they dive into like what happened to the Empire and what give us more with. I think it's coming too. I think season 2 is going to give us a lot more story.
See, here's what they're going to do. They're going to sit back in a couple of weeks. They're going to have a meeting. They're going to go, what did people like? What was good to do? And they're going to, usually with seasons, I hate to say it, first seasons and most shows are the worst. And then in the second one, they get their groove. And in the third, they're just ripping ass. I mean, they're kicking ass, right? Yeah. So this one just started off awesome. So I'm actually expecting the second season to be actually better. Believe it or not.
I completely agree with you. I think season 2 is going to give us a lot more in regards to the grander story of where things are. And as much as I like I would like to see that cameo we've heard about. There's been that rumored cameo of Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? And I thought to myself, like, oh, he'll be the one that saves little baby Mando. Let me make sure I get those images plugged in here, because when you think about that, right, the way it kind of built it up, Clone Wars, everything else, right? It was Clone Wars, and it was that flashback scene. We see the Separatist ships. We know that there's going to be some crazy stuff going on. But we don't fully know exactly where it's going to take us yet, right? Who's going to be showing up to save little baby Mando? And I honestly thought, maybe you're like me, I thought that it was going to be Obi-Wan. We'd been speculating about that for a while, and it turns out we were both wrong.
Well, I thought that, to be fair, I thought that because you told me, so I was expecting Obi-Wan.
Okay.
And but I'm happy with what I got. I actually thought it was. I think we're moving a little forward here, right?
Well, there's really not a lot, like from the episode when they're stuck in the bar and everything else like that.
Yeah.
What you have after that is you get when
we
they
find
introduce
out
Moff
the
Gideon.
history. Yes.
Yeah. So when we get the shot here of little baby Mando, we've seen this a lot in the marketing. We don't know who he's looking at. We don't know who saves him. And then, of course, it's another Mandalorian. Now, first, I thought that was
Boba Fett.
I thought it was Boba Fett. I'm like, this is like a long time ago. Fett would have maybe been alive. I mean, well, no, he would have been alive a long time ago. But is this Fett? We don't quite know. But what it was actually was something way more significant. And this is where I want to know if you were paying attention. Well, no, you haven't seen the Clone Wars TV show, have you?
No, but I'm going to tell you right now that this is very telling. This scene right here, it explains what Boba Fett is, and probably what, in my mind at least, and what Jango Fett actually is, because there's been a lot of debate if he's actually a Mandalorian, if he's from Mandalore and stuff. And it turns out that he's a Creed, right? Which means he's adopted into the culture. And that's what we find out about baby Mando, which I forgot his real name.
It's like Din. It's like Din something.
Yeah, he actually, there was a few weeks ago, we had Jeffrey Harris on here, and he told us the name because Pedro Pascal has actually been spoiling it. But yeah, so he's a Creed. He's not a Mandalorian born on Mandalore. He adopted the culture and was rescued by this Mandalorian right here that you have on screen. And basically, it looked like him and Baby Yoda. If you when he carried them out of
there's I'm actually looking at that shot right now. Let me grab that screen grab for later on when we
so we see a little bit of a callback why this tough dude, this man's man is has a soft spot for the little green guy, and it's basically because the little green guy is him. It's
well, it is him. It is definitely him. Let me find something here, because what he gets, but it's who he gets rescued by. That is the most fascinating thing. And who he gets rescued by, those of you in the chat right now, and I want to see it. If you know who it is, Right. Yep. Nate here knows exactly who it is. Death Watch. He gets saved by fucking Death Watch.
That's a Clone Wars.
That
guy?
is a Clone Wars reference.
Nice.
I lost my shit. I lost my shit when that popped up. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, you brought in Death Watch? Holy crap. Because that is so trust me when I say this, it actually makes a lot more sense when you break it down, right? When you start breaking down what Mando is, the creed of Mandalorian, what we've seen throughout the season. I don't know why I didn't immediately go to Death Watch, because who was the name of the Jon Favreau Mando in episode 3? That was Paz Vizsla, right? Is it Paz Vizsla, or like it's something like that? Now, Paz Vizsla, if I'm saying it wrong, people in the chat let me know. It's Paz or Paz, something like that. His father was also voiced by Jon Favreau in The Mandalorian. In Clone Wars, he was in there, and he was basically a separatist group inside Mandalorian. Very hardcore about the creed. He didn't wear his helmet because like he was also like a senator, or he was kind of a politician, but he ran Death Watch, and Death Watch was a big part of, I think, season 2 in the storyline. And it's a really cool couple episodes, because it's all about, Obi-Wan and the fact that he was with, that he kind of like, he had a lover, basically. There was a woman that he loved. And so, yeah, but fucking goddamn it, seeing Death Watch on the screen, oh my God, was so cool.
That's Death Watch.
That's Death Watch's logo right there. That's their signet. That's their signet. And they're hardcore extremists, right? So now we know, after watching the show, why they're hardcore extremists, and that has everything to do with the fact that they that this is why Mando can't take it off, because he was raised by hardcore extremists. So we get this we get this great idea now for the idea of Mandalorian, the idea of what to expect from his creed, his clan. And that, to me, opened up the world. It opened it up so much for like what's going to be happening with the series going forward, or with the next season of the show. And if we're going to get any more of the backstory of Mandalorian.
That's awesome.
It was just, that was so cool. That was so unexpected, in my opinion. And I was really happy that they did that. Let's see. I'm trying to find some other stuff here. I mean, first off, we got just so much. There's so many cool scenes in the show.
Oh, dude, the one that got me, I mean, one that I could think of right now, because there's several of them, is the scene where Mando's trying to talk to IG-11, and IG-11's like, I'm gonna do what I'm programmed to do, is to protect or whatever. I forgot the exact lingo, but he grabs Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda is having a joyride on the speeder bike, and IG-11's heading to kick some ass to rescue everyone. That was awesome. That was an awesome part.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, that particular shot was a little bit weird for me. Of IG going like, I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I'm just gonna go in. He's like, I'm just gonna go into the city, and I'm just gonna fight. But you're right. You're absolutely right. When you start looking at the idea of the episode, and you start looking at the little funny bits, this shot right here of Baby Yoda, yeah, this is the face that's gonna spawn a million memes, right? This is the face where I legitimately smiled while looking at that. I immediately thought of my kids. Because like my daughters, when they smile and they're really excited, are kind of like that big toothy grin and just that look on his face of pure excitement, even though IG-11 is legitimately going to murder everyone.
This is the meme. It's gonna say Star Wars Episode 9 hit 1 billion.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah. I should go and already make that meme and have it ready to go for the time. But I mean, just that whole sequence in general. Was pretty fantastic. IG comes in on the speeder bike and just starts laying everyone to waste. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get some screenshots out of it. It's a
what
fast.
Is it? Kuiil, right?
Kuiil.
Yeah, Kuiil. I'm still learning the names a little, because I haven't. I'll have them down by next season, I promise. Kuiil, right? Kuiil. All right. He programmed them to defend, so that's what he did. That's why I was cool with him going in there in the middle of action.
Well, yeah, he got in there to protect him, and I think also we wanted to protect the father, so to speak, like to protect Mando and whatnot. But what I love though is when he's cruising on in and he's just taking out everyone on the sides. he just like opens fire on everyone, and then they just like turn and they open fire on him, and he grabs Baby Yoda and like puts him around behind him and
Oh, that
protects
was
him
awesome. I thought
while
that was
still
awesome.
opening fire on everybody.
Yeah,
you know.
that's
And then
awesome.
And then of course, like everyone just like comes out and then just gets totally wrecked by him and by Cara, because they start kind of coordinating, which I really enjoyed. Like
this
she
is Star Wars, man. This is Star Wars.
This is Rogue One, is what this is.
And
this
Star
is
Wars.
Rogue One Star Wars.
It's awesome, man.
We were all kind of, I don't want to say worried about anything. I don't think anyone was really worried here.
There's only one episode people worried about.
Which one is that one?
It's the
4?
one on Tatooine.
Oh, number five. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gunslinger was, it wasn't my favorite episode of the season, but I don't think it was bad by any stretch of the imagination. And I really enjoyed, I really want to know again, was there I got to see here, was there anything at the end credits I missed? No. Okay. Cause we still don't know at this point, who found, whatever the Ming Na Wen in the desert. We don't know who that was.
I think that's pretty much in my mind. It's
you think there's
Moff
Boba?
Gideon. Moff Gideon.
Maybe Moff Gideon, but
because he's the one he knows about everyone.
Yeah. So here's this shot. I love this. This is one of the ones you can see all the dead stormtroopers, and that's all IG-11 right there, just tearing everyone to hell and back. And then of course they are all fighting outside. And what I love about this is stormtroopers still can't hit the side of a barn. They still can't do it. They're still not able to pull it off at all.
They also don't open doors. If you hide somewhere and you lock the door, they don't look inside. They don't open the door.
Well, they're also trying to like figure out like how to get in. Like I love that once again Mando grabs the big gun and starts opening fire on everybody, and just like ends up taking a bunch of them out in the process, because that was my favorite shot from the first episode.
Yeah.
Was him going in there and then just like jumping on the turret and then taking everybody out. I thought that was great. So what we have here is a number of like this action scene kind of makes up for the lack of action in a number of the episodes. It makes up for a lack of action in a lot of what we saw. And again, I'm not like attacking it or whatever. I think that it handled it. This was total 310 to Yuma Western series trope, right? I mean, and even all things considered, like IG-11 coming in on the speeder bike was a little bit of Deus Ex Machina, and the fact that they all relatively survived was still Deus Ex Machina.
I thought it was Terminator.
No, Deus Ex Machina. It just means like, basically like you get lucky is a lot of what it means. But then look at this shot here. This is just, again, I love this here. This is totally like that whole place is torn up. Moff Gideon is surprisingly a very good shot. He's not a stormtrooper. Yeah. Again, there was that line from episode 6, right? Like, this is a sharpshooter, one of the Empire's finest. Oh, really? I thought you guys, I've heard otherwise. I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass. Like that line was great. So there's a lot of just a good cinematography in this episode, a lot of great shots, a lot of great, just moments and everything. Like when Mando's injured, right? Like when Mando is tore up and he's like, just leave me to die. Just leave me to die. And it's okay. And then Cara's like, I'm not leaving you, man. I'm not leaving you, you dumbass.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was great. Especially they brought in that stormtrooper with the red to just
that's a flame trooper, baby. That's a flame trooper. They pulled out. I was like, I saw it in the trailer, so I know that it was going to be there. But like, there was an actual sense, like, even though I know that they're shooting season 2 right now, and that it would never actually end up being anything other than like, working out for everyone in the process. I will admit, like this shot right here, this scene when Mando was injured, because he was like Pedro Pascal, I think really brought it with just like the vocal emotions, like, and then Cara here, that's like actual concern in her face. That's actual concern that her friend is going to die, that he's injured, that he got blown the hell up by Gideon. And I also love how that happened too. How Gideon like saw the thing and took a shot at what could hurt Mando instead of firing him directly. It shows you how smart of a villain he is. And again, we're going to talk about that, but I think he's going to be a real threat in the future. But I love the way that looks. And then of course we had the flame trooper. I thought was awesome. Just in the fact that he came in there and he lit the place up. But of course what happens after the fact was just like, that's too cool to ignore. Right. How did you think anything bad was going to happen? You think that, you think anyone was going was going to
No,
perish in that scene.
I was waiting for Baby Yoda to use the Force.
You're waiting for, well, I think we all were waiting for Baby Yoda to use the Force, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest with you. I think at that point, Baby Yoda using the Force was kind of what everybody wanted, right? It's kind of, that's the money shot, that's the payoff shot. But just again, when I talk about the cinematography on the show, when I bring this up here, right? Like, and again, we're just kind of going through the episode. I'm just pulling screen grabs as we're going through. I mean, you get the shot right
I
here,
need that poster.
right? I can get you a higher res version of it later,
Oh,
but
that's so good.
but that just him sitting there, and it's like, you know, because he did the hand thing a little earlier too, and then he just goes and, you know, stands in front of it and blocks the just pushes back the flames and lights the dude on fire. That was sick. That was just super freaking cool. Just completely destroyed that whole thing. But what I thought was kind of interesting after that, though, was like nobody else came in, you know, like nobody else ended up coming in and like rushing it. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. Again, it's kind of
they're all dead.
Not all of them were dead. There's still a few more that were out there, but it was basically like stormtrooper logic.
Yeah.
You know, which I thought was kind of funny.
That happens a lot. I mean, if you got like an endless supply of soldiers, and the movie would end in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well,
you know, if the stormtroopers didn't shoot, if they shot straight, then the original trilogy would have ended in the first 5 minutes. Probably.
Yeah. If they would have done that, I agree with you. But I want to talk about, though, what I feel is probably one of the most defining aspects of the entire episode. And that was, I keep leaving that shot up there. Let me bring this up on here. When they brought out, when Mando is injured and he's hurting, he's dying, you know, he's got brain bleed, everything else, he's tore up, and he gets Baby Yoda out of there, and then IG-11's like, I can help you, but I have to take off your helmet, and he's all, you know, he pulls out his gun immediately on him. I thought that was great.
Yep.
And he's all like, I can't. This is the way. And then he goes like, but no living thing can see me without my helmet on. And he says, I'm not living. Right. And then, of course, we get the shot of him, and just he's so tore up, but he still even as IG is saving him, putting the back to spray on his head in order to help him to get repaired, to repair his brain, so to speak. Because, you know, space wizards and magic science and all that stuff. But you can just look at like the I don't want to say desperation in Pedro Pascal's eyes, but you can totally see just how done he is, how exhausted he is, and he still has the gun on IG-11. You know,
that picture, they say pictures say have 1,000 stories.
Yeah.
That one is telling me that this guy, he's you know, he's about 40. You know, he's gone through a lot. He's tired.
Yeah,
he's tired. But he's still gonna battle till the end. But he's seen a lot. He has seen a lot and has gone through a lot. There's a lot of pain in him.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of pain, and we saw a bit of that pain in the episode when they ended up getting to the next part, because they got out of there, right? We know they got out of there. They made it down into the sewers. They made it down towards the Culvern, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. The Mandalorian house, where they were all hiding out at, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't know what happened to them at all. We had no idea what was going on after the end of the episode 3, after all that crazy cool shit went down. And then, of course, we find out that it did not go well. And that was, how did you feel about that? Because I was surprised.
Dude, I was sad, man. I was sad because, again, it's a tragic story with Mando. And the races being exterminated, and I guess they were Imperials who did that after they showed themselves, because they're supposed to be the top of the cream of the crop in the galaxy of the best of the best warriors. That's what their culture is.
Yeah.
But you know, there's so few of them that I'm thinking they got ambushed by thousands of Imperial troops in my mind, and they were just like, probably their some of their equipment was stolen and stuff. And I
don't think their equipment was stolen, because I got the image up right here, and we found that the armorer, the armorer went through and she pulled off all the helmets, all of the pauldrons, all of the armor. She pulled off everything in the episode, right? She pulled off everything off these guys, and she's melting it down. But it still makes me really wonder, where are all the bodies? Right? Where are all the bodies?
Lava.
You know, maybe she went down and dropped them all in the lava. That might be a way to do it. What I gotta admit though, like I'm glad that the armorer survived, because I think she's gonna be the one that can really kind of help everything. She can really kind of help keep the culture alive. But then again, now that we know that that culture, that the way that they operate is done by Death Watch, then those guys are extremists. They were considered terrorists on Mandalore, right? So it's like, oh shit, that's a whole new thing. That's a whole new thing that we have to deal with now. So you have kind of like these religious extremists, Mandalorians, which is effectively what we've now learned that Mando is, right? But you can start to also see that he wants to be the way. He wants to follow in the way, but he's also really kind of willing to not, that he's willing to do, he's getting kind of to the point where he's like, I'm going to go and just do what I need to do. And I think he's going to take off the helmet down the road. I really do. I think he's going to
show it to regular people.
Maybe not to everyone, but I think once he realizes that if they do the Death Watch as bad, right? If they do the Death Watch as being the bad guys, then it would say to me that eventually he's going to be okay with taking off the helmet, because right now that's the creed. This is the way.
But how bad are they? They rescued baby Mando.
They rescued people, and then they also turned them into foundlings and took them with him. So, they showed up, and it was dope as hell that they showed up, and it was dope as hell that they did everything. But they still are the kind of people that were running like terrorist attacks on Mandalore in the Clone Wars. So unless they've reformed somehow, but given the type of strict nature that we've seen coming out of the Culvern and coming out of the tribe, it leads me to believe, and also Paz Vizsla was there, and his dad led Death Watch. So that tells me that with everything that's going on, is that we're going to get a fair amount of, we're going to get some history on that one. And I'm really hoping that it's some dope ass history because of the way that it's set up in Clone Wars. And I know you haven't watched the Clone Wars TV show. I know that. And so this is one of those things where it's like, if you are a fan of that, if you're just a fan of the storytelling that Dave Filoni has put together, then clearly this is going to be where it's at for you. But I wanted to talk about here for a second. Is this, I had to find the screenshot, so I'm sorry. This signet, we now have a signet for Mando, right? Mando now has a clan of his own. And that is something that is pretty damn cool in my opinion. He's got a signet of his own. There we go. That's the right image. And he's now able to kind of use that with other Mandalorians. Now it's a Mudhorn, right? It's the Mudhorn signet that the armorer wanted to put on him in episode 3, but he said it wasn't a clean kill. But then she meets the baby, and she realizes that they have a connection, and she realizes that the two need each other, and she realizes that it wasn't an unclean kill. This was the beginning of a clan. He is a youngling. He is a foundling. And Mando, and if you caught that line, there was that line where she said, either until he becomes of age, and then you can let him go, or until you return him to his parents. That's the creed.
To people of his kind.
The people of his kind, yeah.
Yeah, his species.
But
so
did you catch that?
Is it possible to see Baby Yoda Mandalorian helmet?
I have a feeling we will eventually see Baby Yoda.
Oh my gosh.
I think
that'd be awesome.
Those Funko Pops are going to absolutely positively sell themselves 100%. They're going to be out there. They're just going to be out there, and they're going to be having like a hell of a thing. But really, but there's another line there that the armorer dropped that I thought was really fascinating. She mentioned Jedis.
Yep.
We know that this is 5 years past the return of the Jedi, but we have not heard anything about the Force. In fact, it was still relatively a myth to Mando and Kuil. Kuil was like, I've heard of these things, but now I get what you mean. It's kind of weird, and then Mando says, but this creature, the species, can move things with his mind. And then she talks about, the fight between Mandalorians and the Jedi. But what I'm wondering, is she referring to the fight of, because the Great Purge was the Imperials that went to Mandalore and mined it for Beskar. And I'm wondering if she's referring to Death Watch versus Obi-Wan, right?
Maybe. I haven't watched the Clone Wars, but she also calls them sorcerers, right?
Yeah, well, they might have. I mean, again, I don't know how far back the religious extremists go. If anyone in the chat is caught up on that, because the death of Paz Vizsla's father, I want to make sure I'm right on that one there. Let's see here, Jon Favreau, Clone Wars. Who did he? Because he played. Let's see. Damn it. Okay, he is. I want to make sure I have this correct here. Because his death is actually one of the coolest. It's one of the coolest ones in the show so far. If I could find it here, he played pre-Vizsla, right? Pre-Vizsla, and then he also played Paz Vizsla. Now, pre-Vizsla, according to Star Wars Wikipedia here, and I know we're kind of going a bit off topic, but I feel like having some of that lore tied in would definitely be good for everything. So just kind of bringing it up here, looking at it here, we see that pre-Vizsla is a human male Mandalorian warrior who led the terrorist organization known as Death Watch. During the final years of the Galactic Republic, formerly the governor of Concordia, Vizsla longed to restore the warrior heritage of his homeworld, the planet Mandalore, by overthrowing the Duchess Satine Kryze's pacifist regime. Drawing on the support of his Mandalorian commandos, he made a bid for his power during the galaxy-wide Clone Wars, but failed several times in his efforts to conquer Mandalore. Right? So basically, and he ends up, if I remember correctly, he got killed. No. Oh no, he might be still around. I thought he died in an episode with Anakin, but I'm probably wrong on that. But Death Watch here, let's look what Death Watch is, because I think the fact that they brought them in means they're going to come back again. They're going to totally come back again. Now, Death Watch is the Mandalorian splinter group that opposed the pacifist government of Mandalore, led by Duchess Satine during the Clone Wars. After failed attempts after taking over Mandalore, they became part of Darth Maul's Shadow Collective, which successfully took control of the planet during the war. A power struggle that ultimately resulted in Mandalore's pre-Vizsla's death resulted in Death Watch being split into the Mandalore Resistance, led by Bo-Katan Kryze, and the Mandalore Super Commandos under Maul. So I don't. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. And these guys, Death Watch at this point in time, isn't the terrorist organization, right? Maybe they're not. Maybe at this point they are the Mandalore Resistance here. And if you bring up Mandalore Resistance, that armor looks kind of similar.
Same, yeah.
It looks. I mean, the color scheme looks the same. It looks a little bit darker.
What about the antenna?
If I can see I can't really see the antenna. Let's see. The antennas on the masks are all kind of the same anyway, right? So they're that. But I
did notice some of the Mandalorians in the show. Most of them don't have the antenna on.
Oh. Okay. Well, that could be something there as well. So I'm not entirely too sure.
Would Boba Fett be part of this as well?
I don't. Boba Fett pops up in the Clone Wars show as a youngling, basically.
Okay.
Because it takes place like right after the death of Jango Fett, and he's a couple episodes where he's in an arc where he's trying to take out Mace Windu, and it's actually a pretty good episode. So we can see here that there is a lot that's going on with Death Watch, and then it's also apparently the Mandalorian Super Commandos. Oh, this is clearly not Death Watch. That's totally not Death Watch from or the Resistance, but that's some badass Mandalorian armor, and you can tell they're totally. They're led by Maul, so they're going to be looking like Maul soldiers. That's pretty cool. I have to check that one out. So as we can see with this whole situation, they are leading to tell us more about Mandalore. I think we're going to get a lot more with the Resistance, and perhaps, I mean, Maul is dead at this point. No, Maul isn't dead at this point. Maul is still alive at this point. Oh no, you have no idea how much I lost my shit when we saw Solo and Maul popped up. I legitimately squealed.
Yeah, but that
loudly.
But
that takes place a couple years before. No. I think I'm wrong. I think Mando is dead at that point. No, wait.
Maul,
yeah, Maul is dead. I get him.
Yes.
Wait, when did Obi-Wan pop up?
Obi-Wan.
Oh no, Obi-Wan Rebels. I always get Rebels confused. Rebels was before the OT. For some reason, I thought it was after. That's my bad, guys. That's my bad. I'm sure I'm gonna get torn asunder in the chat. But anyway, so what I love though, you gotta love it. You gotta love the next big thing in the show, because we're still going through this here, and I really want to make sure that we've got this. We're covering it as fast as we possibly can. Mandalorian kind of plays out a little bit like a video game every once in a while. You know, it plays out like he kind of just like does this one thing and then gets a reward, right? Well, the coolest thing, what we were all waiting for this time around, was for him to get his hands on a freaking jetpack. We saw it at the end with Vizsla or with Paz Vizsla in episode 3, giving Mando the Rocketeer salute. We all saw that. We all loved it. And finally, Mando is going to be getting something, and the armor, kind of her last gift to him, was totally a freaking jetpack. But there was a line that she used with the jetpack that I don't know much about, and maybe someone can tell me in the chat. But did you notice the line she used in that, where she had talked about that, like, you know, you need to practice it, like you've trained on it before, but you have to continue practicing because it won't respond to your commands. Did you catch that at all?
Yeah, I caught that. And I was under the impression he kind of knew how to use it.
Well, yeah, he kind of knew how to use it, but it's like, I mean, he clearly knows how to use it by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's like that whole notion of like, okay, cool. But I just was laughing. I'm like, oh, he finally got the fucking missile backpack, you know, and he's now complete. His armor is now complete, like going into the final battle of a damn video game. Finally gets that. I really just enjoyed that whole sequence of him just getting that. And then of course, just, you know, the scene, this scene right here, man, with the armorer. Like, I was really wondering what they were going to do with the armorer. Were they going to kill her off right away? Were they going to, you know, keep her around? Because, you know, she seems like she's pretty good at taking care of herself, right?
Oh yeah, she kicked ass.
Yeah, she You're talking
really about the Imperial troops came in, right?
Yeah,
she was kind of like meditating.
She was I think she was prepping for the fight. Yeah, I think she was prepping for the fight, and she was definitely getting ready to mess him up. I just love that she's got the tongs and the hammer, and that's all she needs, and she just messes all of them up. And I love that she even like cracked the mouthpiece of a stormtrooper helmet.
The helmet and the entire helmet.
Yeah, just took it out, just took it apart. I mean, like, so the armorer is a badass character, and I really want to see her come back in the next season. I just really enjoyed that whole thing. I thought that it was wonderful. Because we didn't get much out of her, but then there's this, if I can find the shot there, this shot right here. I just love it. This could go on a poster. You could probably sell this pretty well. Let me just get this up on the thing.
The chat said it's communist.
Oh, it's communist propaganda. Is that what it is? It's communist propaganda. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Oh, geez, you guys.
Oh,
not.
No.
Communist propaganda.
Yeah, I think, guys, after this, I'm gonna go do a video about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably do my review in the morning. This is a very long form review. I didn't really have a plan going into this, but I thought it'd be kind of funny to start looking at the pictures. But just look at this shot right here. This is like such a badass warrior pose. You know, I mean, she tore those 4 guys up, and she's like, I'm not done yet. I ain't leaving.
Yeah, but we've never seen her train. This is.
I know. We've never seen her.
Sue. This is a Mary Sue. They're ruining the show. We never saw her train. She just knows stuff.
You know, that's a problem in Star Wars. You can't ever know things. You can't ever know things in Star Wars.
You know, if we don't see it happening, it didn't.
Now,
stuff never happens off screen.
Now, what I thought was really kind of cool was this weird kind of lava boat scene after that. Did you like? Yeah, that was a weird, because I thought that was kind of interesting, where it's like, oh, the fairy droid is caked over with lava, which it totally was. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's pretty fascinating. It's kind of like, you know, they were going to get out of there, but it was just like, all right, how are they going to get out of there? Like they kind of just keep walking into these situations where something isn't always working in the right way. But what I really like the way that just the setup of the situation, you know, looks, and how it's like how Cara kind of carves it out by using the gun.
Yeah, that was dope. And especially what happens with the droid.
Yeah, well, just because, like, you know, I love it. Like, Cara's like, I don't really do the baby thing. Have you noticed that? And here she's holding.
She looked awkward.
She looked awkward holding Baby Yoda, but she also
Cara Dune to me, and I've said this in a review, is the poster woman for toxic masculinity.
Well,
always telling people what to do, you know, wanting to fight first, not negotiate. She's so toxic. She's just such a toxic masculinity in her.
Yeah, she definitely has no desire to at all and under any circumstances let you think that you're going to get away. She's a badass, and I think Cara Dune again is going to be a real fan favorite character. I mean, she already is. A lot of people already really like her. But
Oh, yeah.
what I mean by that is just like, people are really, really going to like her, and I think it's because for one, Gina Carano just has this like really natural and very charismatic approach. Or she seems like very just kind of like a good person to be around, which I like. And then there's she's also could kick your ass in a fight, and she's very attractive. I'm just going to come out and say it. Like part of my attraction to her comes from the fact that she could break me over her knee. But I just want to point out, I like this shot right here for a couple reasons. One, Cara is holding the baby, right? And I do think there's some motherly instinct that comes into that too. Also, the forming of a family, I think to an extent. She never really had it. She's been kind of looking for it too. I think this is kind of the steps in that direction. Now I just also like the way Mando looks. He got tore up. But just look at the Astromech. Look at the Astromech droid there.
Have you ever seen that?
I have never seen that, dude. He freaking like that's a Grievous design too, by the way. Look at that. He's got the two arms for the fairy. He's got the legs, and he's got the two little back arms. It's a Grievous design. A lot of toys. That I kind of want one. I do. I'm not going to lie. But just like you sit there and you see the Astromech droid and it's caked over with lava, and you're like, oh, okay. Because remember, we saw the Astromech droid in the very first episode. In the controlling the taxi, right? And then at this point, like he just gets itself out of the lava, and it just grows arms and legs, and it's like, what, huh? Like, I mean, to me that was wild as all hell. I loved it. I loved the design of that droid. It was so cool. It felt so Star Wars to me. Even though it's a droid, it just felt Star Wars to me. But what I really hated about this scene, what I hated about it was when IG-11 is basically just like, look, there's no way we're gonna get out of this. There's no way we're gonna survive. And then he just like, he sacrifices himself, which I get that, but it still kind of bothered me. Because I'm just like, God damn it. Like we just got used to IG-11 as being this nursery, as being this nanny bot. And it was just like super cool to get to know that character a bit more. And look, the way I view it's like this, and maybe you guys don't agree with me. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. But when I look at, let's say, C-3PO and R2-D2 and BB-8 and even Dio now, the droids are kind of part of the whole approach to Star Wars. They're a big fundamental part of that, where these droids they become main characters that you grow a lot of attention for, that you get a lot of love for. And it's just wild that we finally got one in this case, even one that Mandalorian hated, from the beginning. And then
but I agree with you. I felt bad that the droid had to go.
But just look at the shot. Look at the shot.
Yeah, I didn't want it to go.
Right? Like he's in lava. He's just walking out there, and you're like, oh, he's gonna die. This is gonna be so terrible. But
now you have a sense of danger. Now moving forward in the show, you do feel that any character except Baby Yoda and Mando could die.
Well, I mean, I'd like there to be a bit more danger on that front, especially with Baby Yoda and everything else. Because but it's like, we've got a lot of like is he in danger, but I use a little bit of the tricks and whatever. But then, here's the thing. Did you notice he had a thermal detonator, and the thermal detonator, like it had a large radius?
Yep.
Which I thought was really interesting. But then, I mean, even here, I'll bring up this other shot here in a second just to show you how many guards were there that he took out. He took out so many guards in that shot. Like I need to go through and do a body count of how many stormtroopers IG-11 just eviscerated in this episode, because he did more damage, I think, than literally anything else that we've seen. And I love that line when he is cutting through the grate to get into the sewers, and Grief Carga just looks at him and goes, he goes like, I love IG droids. I love the IG model, because usually they're looked at as being like killers and assassins and everything else, and just to have it like get kind of open praise for being a nurse. And I know you in the originally you didn't want Taika Waititi to voice.
No, because I'm not a fan, and you may think this is weird. I don't like Thor 3 Ragnarok. There's actually a lot of people that agree with me. Press 1 if you don't like Thor Ragnarok. And I felt like maybe it was going to be a little bit over the top and campy and stuff like he does with the Marvel stuff. But then, I had a chance to check out Jojo Rabbit, which is like dark comedy and very emotional. And after seeing that and hearing his voice acting in the first, the way they treated the droid in the pilot, I wasn't worried when I saw Taika Waititi in the credits for this, as ending off the series or season finale for season 1. I wasn't worried at all. I knew it was going to be good, and I felt like the plan was to save the best for last.
No, I get that. And like, again, I want to bring up this shot here of just how many people he took out. And that's just one side of the lava river. But I also like the shot too, because here we got Moff Gideon in a TIE fighter, and they're like, how the hell do we fight back against a TIE fighter? Because we've never seen that in an episode before. We've never seen that in an episode or in Star Wars before, where they take out a TIE fighter with their hands, with the gun.
They always try. They shoot at the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, well, that didn't work out for him. That did whatever.
Kind of damage it if you hit the right cable.
Well, there was. I mean, yeah, there was a lot.
I was escaping the Empire, and my ship kind of got a little bit damaged by a common blaster.
Oh, okay. There we go on that one. That's good for you.
Hey, it's late. I need a joke.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is pretty late. We are getting close to the end of the episode, 100%. I'm just kind of pulling some screen grabs where I can, because I think as this episode gets to the end, as Moff Gideon is going for them, as Moff Gideon is trying to take him out and whatnot, it was going to be happening. That Mandalorian was going to be 100% going for his jetpack, because that was going to be that was the big reveal, right? Going back to that MC Chris song, my backpack's got jets because I'm Boba the Fett. I bounty hunt for Jabba Hutt to finance my vet.
Yes. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Why do the effects in this look more? They look better than the movie.
They don't actually look better than the movie.
The TIE fighter looks better than the movie.
Nah, the TIE fighter, it looks like a TV TIE. It looks like a TV TIE fighter. I was just gonna say, look at the jetpack. The jetpack looks good. All right, the jetpack here looks pretty good. I really enjoyed the jetpack there. But if we want to take a look at the TIE fighter itself, I mean, the TIE fighter is clearly, it's a what sort I want to use here. It is clearly a practical effect that they just put on a green screen, and then they shot the up close stuff for Mando. I get that, but it looks good.
When it was flying around, it was awesome.
Well, no, it looked good because it's not hard to animate a TIE. It's not hard to animate it.
No, I realize that, but something they're doing looks more realistic to me. Looks more like this is.
It looks really more. I think it to some extent it looks like more, perhaps more grounded. This looks more grounded and everything else. And I really appreciate that approach to the filmmaking process. I really appreciate how they decided how they wanted to handle that, because that's something that you don't get a lot of these days. It's a lot of over CG, and there's a lot of CG in the show. Don't get me wrong. There's like a great deal of CG in this show. And it's like even the speeder bikes looked better this episode than they did on episode 5.
They probably work on them for a week.
Yeah. They had more time on that one, right? They had a bit more time on that. But I do love the way that this shot played out too. When Mandalorian was able, when he jetpacked up to the TIE fighter, that was awesome, right? Jetpacked up and used his grapple hook to pull himself tighter. And here he is, having put the 2 detonators on the wing of the TIE fighter right there. And then he just lets go, right? He just lets go. And he's like, all right, F it. We're doing it, man. Like, we're doing it live. Right. And he doesn't know if he's going to live or not. He just knows that at this point, Moff Gideon is pretty much toast, as we think he's pretty much toast. And I just love the way that they set up that sense of over the top adventure. It felt like an Indiana Jones moment to me, more probably than a Star Wars moment, but it felt pretty good nonetheless. I really just liked that whole sequence. I really wanted more. That's the thing. I just want these sequences to last a lot longer because they're so freaking cool. What'd you think of that one?
It was awesome action. I was surprised that it looked realistic to me. That they honor the rules of the weight. Everything looks like it weighs something. Like I don't know if this makes any sense, but sometimes when I'm watching a lot of CG, it looks like they don't respect the laws of physics, and you could tell. And I think kind of like for this world, it feels like all this stuff is happening, and I think that's why it looks so good. And going back to the point where you stated that you didn't want the stuff to end, that it needs to be a little longer. The scene after this was the only negative I would give it, because right after, they got rid of the TIE fighter, the resolution came right away. Like, as soon as Mando landed with Baby Yoda there and Cara Dune and, Carga, they were just like, okay, you go this way, I'll go that way.
Yeah.
Like, it was right away. It didn't breathe. It was like, dude, you guys Mando just fell off a TIE fighter. You know what I mean? And then, like, as soon as he lands, as soon as he lands, they're like, okay, bro, like, you're gonna have to go off with Baby Yoda, and we're going this way. It's like, oh my gosh, did you feel that way? Like, it was kind of rushed?
I mean, like, I felt that it was a little bit like, resolution met. Resolution is met. Okay, cool. We can all go home now. We can all do this, go our own way. And I like that Cara was going to stay behind, right? I enjoyed that Cara was going to stay behind and work with Grief a little bit. And I really enjoyed how that whole sequence of events played out, predominantly because, to me, it shows that she's looking for a home, as we know, right? She's looking for a home. And it's good to see that.
My house is open.
Oh yeah. She's awesome. I really like the character. But I mean, like, we've got this shot here. I pulled up some screenshots. Let me just kind of make sure they're popping up here. So I like this kind of farewell shot right there. Again, just seeing like the lava pits and the design. And this is all like, again, one big LED screen that they're standing in front of, but it looks seamless. It looks absolutely seamless to the design process. And this is why the technological creation of the show, to me, is just fantastic. I really love the way that they set it up. I love the way that they made it look real, and still also kind of have that TV scale budget. I think this is how they're able to really kind of make it work for them, if I'm being honest here. But I like I like that stuff. And then hold on here. Let me find.
Give this thing like something like this, for example, like this show, and give it like $10 million more, or maybe 20, and you can make a movie.
Well, there was actually that they kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Alan Horn had said that they might reverse engineer Mandalorian and put it in theaters, and I'm thinking that could be something before another season or something. Give us a made for not made for TV, but like a 2-hour event in theaters. I mean, look, if you guys are in the chat, if you would go see a 2-hour Mandalorian lead in for the next season or something, like, press 1. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves here, I did want to talk about the juxtaposition shots here. We have this shot here with Baby Yoda and Mando flying away. And I really love that shot because, like, just after everything we just witnessed as fans, it's so cool to see. So we've got that one right there. And then it also coincides with this shot of Mando when he's being carried away when he's a kid. And I just love the juxtaposition of how that played out. I really enjoyed how Taika Waititi was able to kind of match those up a little bit. A boy lost parents, here he's rescued. Here another boy, we don't know anything about him except he's 50 years old and he's a child. And that was it was pretty cool. I really, really, really loved it. And it just felt like it was kind of bringing the universe together, right? Maybe perhaps through the Force, because we know the Force works in mysterious ways and we know the Force likes to unite stuff. But what I really love was this right here. This I thought was great. Like one of the last shots of the episode, just the burying of Kuil, and then the walking away. Then just like the walking off into the sunset, very Unforgiven, very Western tropey sort of thing, and also just sad. It's a somber moment.
I can't believe they killed him.
I mean, know.
I can't believe. I'm okay. So this is gonna sound weird. I'm glad they did, for the show's sake, because now there's a sense of danger. There's a sense of lost. Our heroes fallen. It's great. I mean, it's great for the show, but I can't believe they actually pulled the trigger and did it.
Well,
You know
I
what
mean, you know, I'm pretty sure Nick Nolte, as curmudgeon-y as Nick Nolte is, probably doesn't really want to like, you know, deal with this on a near constant basis. And he's probably just like, all right, screw this crap. You know, you got me to come on here and do this, and then that's going to be about it. But really, what I feel is probably the coolest moment of the entire episode was at the end. And I'm getting the screenshots right now. We'll bring it up here in a second. And what did you think of the ending when you know, when the episode, when the Razor Crest took off? What did you think about Moff Gideon? Did you think that they were going to that he was going to be dead, or did you think he was still going to be alive?
There was a part of me that thought he was done, because the show has gone through characters rather quickly. But obviously, then I was thinking they gotta bring in something to hook you in for the next season. So it was either gonna be a different villain, a different something we haven't seen before, or Moff Gideon, which we haven't seen much of. But if they would have gotten rid of him, I would have been like, okay, but they didn't really explain what the heck he is and stuff like that. So
well, they explained that during the what is it, the Great Purge, he was on Mandalore, right? So he was a guy that was, you know, definitely what's the word? Damn it, what's the word I want to use here? You know, he's the kind of guy who was like a record keeper, I think, or he was in charge, more or less.
Yeah,
and
we also don't know what the heck they want with Baby Yoda.
Well, I mean, no, we don't. We don't actually know anything about that. And that to me is probably one of the most fascinating aspects of it all.
They're deciding right now, I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, they're probably going like, ooh, what is it we're going to do with that? What was it we're going to do? Crap. Let's
we had 3 options. Let's see. What do you guys
Well,
think?
I mean, Dr. Pershing, we didn't see any more Dr.
So
Pershing.
they're going to have the Lucas cut. The Lucas cut of the Mandalorian. I'm breaking the news right now.
Yeah.
There's going to be the Lucas cut, the Abrams cut, the Kathleen Kennedy cut.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
The Kathleen Kennedy cut. That's where we
Matt
find
Jarbo
ourselves.
cut and the Nerd.
Oh, yeah. They're totally hiring me to come on down and do all
we're
this.
going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. So let me just get the last couple screenshots here. We will go through. I know we've been at this for over an hour. I know Luce is
That's
probably
fine.
really
It's
tired.
a great. No, I'm good. We could probably, Matt, if you can, we could take a couple questions before we go.
Oh no, totally. We'll do that
So
a little
get
bit.
it-
Yeah. Hey, thank you very much for watching. There we go. Wrong one. Wrong button. That's the
Get your
wrong
questions in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I
okay.
just wanted to go through. So again, it's like I just fired up the stream after doing this. So I'm getting the screen grabs as we're going through.
Man. And you know, I see a lot of people are watching, but very few likes. And I know you're liking this because it's Mandalorian talk. So hit up the likes and also share this. If you haven't done so, it really helps the channel. And also, this is gonna probably be, Matt, you're gonna leave this up. So
Yeah. This whole thing's gonna be up. Yeah.
not live, you could still share it, and it helps get the word out. And we're gonna come back talking about Star Wars because we love Star Wars.
Yep. Oh yeah. You've seen Rise of Skywalker 3 times. I've seen it twice. I'm seeing it again next week in IMAX. I'm looking forward. So let's talk about the finale here. This is the big deal.
Okay.
This is the big thing. This is what everyone's going holy fuck over. All right. This is what everyone's going holy fuck over. So what we got here is, after Mando takes off in the Razor Crest, we get a shot of the crashed TIE. You can kind of see some Jawas are working on it a little bit.
They're trying to rip it off.
They're trying to already tear it apart, which is, again, total Jawa behavior.
Total Star
And
Wars.
you have to just laugh and love it. Right. And then, of course, we get the shot here of them as something starts cutting its way through the hull of the TIE fighter. Now, at first, I thought, oh, he's just cutting his way through like IG-11 did. He's got a little torch or whatever. But then in this particular shot, you can notice the white and then the black tip. And I knew exactly what the hell that thing was.
This is a weapon of a Mandalorian, correct?
This is, yes, he is rocking the fucking Dark Saber.
And this was on Mandalore.
This was on Mandalore. This is a Mandalorian thing. Yeah, this is a Mandalorian thing. So this is a big deal, right? This is this is something that, again, I'm trying to make sure that I've got it correct. My knowledge of it is maybe a little bit lower than other people. I know what it is from everything. Okay, so okay, here we go. I can bring up the page. We can get a look at it because we kind of need to at this point. I think if we're going to dive in, let's dive in to everything that it is. Okay. So, according, let me sure I can move it off. Okay, so according to Star Wars Wikipedia here, the Dark Saber is an ancient and unique black-bladed lightsaber created by Tare Vizsla, the first Mandalorian ever inducted into the Jedi Order. Prior to 1019, I'm assuming that Tare Vizsla is probably like the grandparent or something of Pre Vizsla, the guy who ran Death Watch. So
that's dope. The only danger there is I hope he's not too related to the Mandalorian, because then
it's not. He will be related. He won't be related to the Mandalorian,
not by blood. But I'm saying if he knew him when he was a kid and stuff like that. I think
I don't think so. Here, I don't think so.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, no. Tare Vizsla. Let's see here. According to, well, we'll take a look at it here in a second. Anyway, so let's see here. The house was kept in
too much on Mandalore. It's kind of getting too coincidental.
Not really. I mean, people really want more. It's called the Mandalorian, for crying out loud. What do you think they're going to do?
The Mandalorian is a guy that's protecting Baby Yoda. The Empire should be a separate entity trying to.
No, the Mandalorian is also a creed. So it's everyone calls him Mando, but he's not the only Mandalorian.
But that particular bounty hunter.
Din. But what we're talking about here is this weapon and how the weapon's going to play into it here. So we have to look. We have to look up what the weapon is. So it says here that the weapon was kept in the Jedi Temple after Vizsla's passing, but members of the House Vizsla stole the saber in a conflict with the Jedi during the fall of the Old Republic. The Dark Saber was passed down generation to generation by the ancestors of Pre-Vizsla, who held onto the weapon even after the pacifist ideals of the new Mandalorians replaced the warrior ways. So it's basically a call to arms, in my opinion, for the Death Watch, for the more hardcore warrior class of the Mandalorians. And so the fact that Moff Gideon has it, is something that I find to be quite fascinating, because he would have taken it during the purge, most likely. Or maybe he got it someplace else. I don't know. I'm not fully up to date on that. I'm sure people in the comment section are going to tell us, which we're going to get to here in just a second. So that to me is just, it's like, I don't know, that signifies a lot. The Dark Saber is important.
Still around here?
Mandalore is still around, but it's like, it was pretty much like, it might have been destroyed. I don't know. But everyone fled.
Investigating who took the child and then went to Mandalore, found out about the Mandalorian, or who exactly he was, and then stole this Dark Saber.
No, well, I'm pretty sure he stole it when they were also raiding everything, but we're going to find out more. Definitely as
no, it's gotta be my way, dude, or no.
No, okay, whatever. So that's what we know on that one. All right, so that's the episode. I'm going to give it a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10. I don't know what you're going to say. Okay.
I give it a 9. Great conclusion.
Yeah.
My expectations were really high, and it met them. And I'm kind of, the only drawback is that there's not another one next Thursday.
That part does suck. That part really sucks.
Bro.
So
I'm kind of like, okay.
Okay. So we can go into the lot of chat there. Did I miss any super chat? I don't think I missed any super chats. So
well, you can bring them in now. If people want a super chat, a buck or whatever, that'd be great.
Okay. So let's find out. So Draco here asks, do we think Gideon was the man in the Spurs? I don't think that, because where Navarro is, they were near, like, I think Navarro, Tatooine is on the outer rim, not too far away from the unknown regions. And at this point, the Empire is in the unknown regions, and we know that. So we don't quite know if Gideon is. I don't believe he's a man in the Spurs. People do believe that is Boba Fett, and it's possible that we'll find that out next season. I don't know.
I think it was him. He's obviously a guy who's hands-on, so he probably he's been after the child. I don't think he even minds getting into battle without stormtroopers backing him up.
No, I don't think so. I think he's very adept at fighting. Obviously,
yep.
He's a good shot. He's not a stormtrooper. Let's see. Command Unit here says 10 out of 10. All right, man. That's good. Question though to the audience that are watching. We have 87 people watching right now. Rate the season as a whole. Season as a whole for me, 9.5. Just I don't know. It's near perfect in my opinion.
I say 9 because it had those 2 episodes that were.
I liked
one episode.
Episode 4. Episode 5 is the only like low mark. Shidoko here says Dark Saber had me flip damn straight. Let's see here. Okay, Michael Goldsmith says the troopers talking at the beginning was stupid. I disagree. That was like one of my favorite parts.
No, this is soldier talk. This is the only reason it's weird because we haven't seen it before, but this is what the stormtroopers or even any military soldier does, US military or whatever. They're very disciplined in front of other people, but when they're at ease and relaxing among themselves, they talk about women, they talk about equipment, they talk about nonsense, and it was very well done, I think, in my opinion.
It sold me on it. Like the guys were just like out there just talking a bunch of trash, and I really,
it wasn't slapstick.
It wasn't like, no, it was because it's Jason Sudeikis, and like just all he's like, hey, the one guy's like, hey, let me see it. No, man, like, my God, stop it. Like, well, we have to give it some water or something. You just want to see it. Like, it's just, they're sitting there like, all right, well, what else are we going to do? Not much else going on. We're,
these guys have been in the desert together for years.
Yeah. Maybe. What I thought was great about that too, was the whole bit when they're like, they get on the radio and the guy's like, is like, oh, yeah, no, Moff showed up and killed everybody. Wait, did he just kill his own men? Yeah. Let's not get involved with that. Like, let's just not, no, are you eager to go down there? Like, are you kidding me? I thought that was great.
He's basically like a mild Darth Vader.
Kind of, yeah. Like, he's hardcore, which I really thought was funny. Although I'm looking through the end credits right now and I don't see who the other actors were. So that's unfortunate. They weren't showing us that stuff. But okay, let's see. Gideon was at the end of Ep 5. I don't think it was him, but I could be wrong. And again, we're going to probably find out in the next season. Command Unit here says Clone Wars coming back soon. That's true. Maybe they want to tie the Dark Saber into Clone Wars season 7, as this is kind of a preamble into that. So that could be something. Let's see. You wanted to see B1 droids. Was that damn it. What are the B1 droids? Are those the Clone Wars?
Obi-Wan, the B1 droid. Go ahead and Google that. But I think I'm going to just guess that's the.
Yeah. Those are like the Roger guys, right? The Roger guys.
Battle
right?
droids.
Battle droids. Right. I would, dude. As much as I was very happy to see the super battle droids that popped up in the episode, in that little bit, we see them before in the trailer. I would have lost my collective shit if it would have been a B1 droid. If you would have had them go like Roger, I'd be like, yeah, because here's the thing, 20 years ago wasn't a huge fan, right? I wasn't like a huge fan of those guys. After watching the Clone Wars and getting into the Clone Wars, I've grown to very much like them.
They look cool. The designs are cool,
and I like the Roger, and I kind of like the dumb design of it all, and that's just me. Let's see. Moff was hunting the baby. He was hunting the baby. That is true, but we don't know why yet. We don't know why. Let's see here. What exactly did you need for a 10 rating that showed everything simply brilliant? I mean, I would argue that, like, I'm going to knock off points because Kuwil and IG11.
I have a reason why.
That's my argument. All right. I'm sticking to it. What's your reasoning?
I almost never, I don't think I've ever given a 10 to anything. And the reason is because I'm on, this is kind of stupid to some people, but I feel that there's always a better movie in front of me. It's like I'm optimistic. Like a 9 to me is pretty much a 10. That's dumb. But I feel like if I give something a 10, then they're like, what if tomorrow better? What if Mandalorian season 2 is way better than 1, but they're both 10s? It's not really going to represent. They're not the same. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you're also acting.
Dumb,
you're kind of coming at it from like a stance of scarcity, which makes no sense to me. Yeah, because like it's not going to sit there and if season 2 is better than season 1, that's a high fucking bar to hit.
Then I want to say 9.5.
Fine, it's amazing. I mean? It's amazing. It's great. It's golden.
It's great. I mean, I don't think there's anything much better they could do except make the damn episode longer. Release it at effing 12.
Yeah,
exactly. The only thing, I mean, I hate to say it, keep an eye on Dave Filoni. Uses high his strengths. Not directing is not one of his strengths. Not yet.
He'll get there. He'll get there. I think his episode 1 was better than his episode 5. Okay. I think the first episode is better than the 5th episode.
From the goofy guest.
Well, he's a student of Lucas. Okay, so he's going to have a little bit of the goofiness.
Lucas, be a student of Gary Kurtz, not George Lucas or Marcia Lucas, which were way better and
we're way beyond them right now too. Okay, so Command Here Unit says 9.5. The soldier talk drag too much. I disagree on that, but I think the episode's fine. Ben Frank saying Deborah Chow is hot. A lot of people loved. If you notice the love for Deborah Chow,
she's hot.
I don't know how hot she is. I mean, I haven't looked at her from like that perspective yet.
Dude, okay, like if I was, how like we look at guys and we go, man, they have everything. The Deborah Chow's female version, like everything, looks, talent, directing, probably writing as well. She's hot.
Well, I mean, okay.
Next question.
I'm not saying she's not attractive, but I'm not saying it's all like brown chicken, brown cow.
I don't know what that means, but whatever. She's hot.
Yeah, I mean, she's okay. No, she's very good. I don't want to objectify her as a woman. I want to appreciate
if it was prowess. A hot guy, the women, and we were women, we'd be saying
that's different. We're held to different standards. This is how this whole thing works, right? Don't you follow society? Aren't you on Twitter?
What's it called?
Yeah. No, Draco. This is a great comment. Yeah. How the stormtroopers Skytrooper could not shoot the can. It was like 5 feet away. That was just funny.
It looked like it was damaged as well because they did. So it's either a shout out to stormtroopers can't shoot straight, or they were kind of like banging the weapon like something's wrong. So they covered it both ways.
Scott says here, they knew you wanted to get to the story, so they stalled, creating anticipation, referring to the guards, I believe. I can see that. The way I view it, see, I really enjoyed the banter. I really enjoyed the banter. I'd love to see more of the banter. And then they died. And I was like, okay, well, that's over with. But like maybe that one guy got knocked out pretty bad. The other dude died. Right? We can see him come back. He's like, yeah, it's a scratch. He's fine.
The only thing with that is because the episodes are so sporadic. Like some are half an hour, some are 28 minutes, some are 45 minutes. That as I was watching that, I was like, okay, please don't spend the entire season finale on that. Although it was very good. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like they could have done the banter and then the show ends. I would have been like, oh my God. What the hell?
I think that in regards to a lot of it, what you have is a situation where, they wanted to clearly tell the story, and that's like, I was fine with it. I love the episode. I'm trying to think and go back again. There's a lot. This episode had so much that happened in it, right? So much that went in the 42 minutes. It was just like a lot happened. You think Rise of Skywalker went at a breakneck speed for 2 hours and 21 minutes? This episode flew the hell by, but it was really good. I'm looking forward to rewatching it in the morning.
My mom's not a Star Wars fan, dude. Like she thinks like she watch them with me and she's just like, okay, that's nice, and she won't tell me anything. But when I put on Star Wars, she leaves the room. Mandalorian, she's asking me like, when's the next one? And she likes like straight action mob movies. You know what I mean? And she's hooked on this. So that tells you the power of the show.
Well, there's a person here that said, this guy Graham Stetchen, who's a critic, says the Mandalorian finale is just a series of cheap escapes, Deus Ex, and contrivances. He says the main crew are now so OP, there's literally no threat. That's not true. But I mean, I see the complaint.
Didn't Kirill die?
Kirill died, yeah, but he wasn't the main team. He should have been part of the main crew.
Well, no, he was main crew. He was one of the main actors till.
Well, no, and I loved him. I know. Rip Kuil. Hashtag Rip Kuil. Let's see here. Ben Frank here says
too.
IG-11 was great. He was GOAT. He should be back. They got to find a way to bring him back.
He's saying that everyone's OP. We saw 2 major characters die. Get out of here.
Yeah. Let's see. Ben Frank says, I wanted to slap the snot out of the stormtrooper that kept abusing Baby Yoda. Yep. I had a feeling he was going to get, oh yeah, dude. As soon as he like punched Baby Yoda, I'm like, oh, you going to die. It's not going to be well. Let's see here. Gabriel Zombie says, I actually screamed. I was so shook. Yeah. People got mad at that, dude. Baby Yoda's love. Baby Yoda's life.
Yep.
Can't get around that. Let's see. Metacule Vitriol says no episode review. This episode's kind of this whole stream is kind of an episode review. I'll do another one in the morning. I need to do one for episode 7 because I just got so busy last week when I was in LA. I didn't do it, and then I can do one for this. This
is a compliment, Matt. I'm glad people want to see your reviews and stuff like that. But I, like you, we've kind of we haven't slept well. There's been a lot of Star Wars and stuff. So
there's been a lot, and I'm happy. Like last night, I was up finishing Jedi Fallen Order until I think 3 a.m. or something.
Nerd.
Wait, fuck, eat me. That game is amazing. If you haven't played Jedi Fallen Order, it's great. Let's see here. Okay, just watched it. What happened with Sabine Wren? Did she lose the Dark Saber, or her clan was eliminated by Gideon? I don't know. I haven't seen season 4 of Rebels. So there's another, again, when I was mentioning tie-ins with Dave Filoni, this show is so heavily influenced by Dave Filoni, it's not even funny. So apparently we're going to find out something happened to Sabine Wren. Now there have been rumors. Again, I want to 100% speculate or stipulate. These are from Mikey Sutton. These are rumors. He told me last week, he did this big Mikey crossover, that apparently Disney is working on a Sabine Wren live action show. And I look, given the success of The Mandalorian, it's the #1 show in the world to dethrone Stranger Things. And I think it definitely helped lead into Rise of Skywalker's success. They're going to be throwing everything they've got at Disney Plus.
Rise of Skywalker's box office after this episode is going to go up.
Oh my God. Yes.
Influence it because it's going to be in the chatter. That's the plan. The second week is a big deal with movies, the drop off. Yeah. And a lot of it has to do with forgetting what's going on. And I haven't actually had a chance to tell you this, but there's a new wave of posters about to drop this week to be given to attendees at IMAX that my buddies have held off on because they gave one the opening. So it's just so like people go, hey, there's a new poster. And then now with the Mandalorian ending, I bet you Mandalorian's trending right now today and possibly tomorrow. It's like, hey, you want another dose of Star Wars? They're gonna check out Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, totally. Hold on, okay, sorry, I forgot to tell my brother where he can watch. My brother's out of town and he can't watch Mandalorian tonight. And I'm like, you bring your laptop, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, log into Disney Plus then. He's got my account, so he can do it. Okay, I want to bring this thing for Scott here. I think is amazing. For years, I could not get my 9-year-old son into Star Wars. That hurt. My son loves the show and is interested in Star Wars. I love this show for doing just that. God damn it, dude. That's so amazing.
Scott.
That's so amazing.
Scott Campbell, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not BSing you. This is the same problem I had with my son. He watch it. He likes it, but he won't watch it twice. He won't leave the video games to watch it. He's 11. And with Mandalorian, all I have to say is like, hey, Baby Yoda. And he's like, he'll sit on the sofa next to me. It's the greatest feeling to have, him watch the show with me. And he loves this show. So this right here that you're saying, something is disconnected between the movies and a lot of children. And I think Mandalorian, fixes that. It's the bridge, and it's not pandering to kids, but it respects the OT a lot. Maybe hint, the OT is more flattering the little kids. Maybe, I don't know.
I love this here. Concord. I'm already missing Baby Yoda, dude. Seriously, man. That's just that shot. I'm bringing up the shot again because I like that. Let's love that shot. This right here. Yeah. Yeah. I just love that shot. It's so cute. It's so adorable. Oh my God. It's such a good show. Like, I mean, look, here's the thing. I was thinking about this last night. Like, I keep telling people, if you guys watch my content, in fact, it's 2:30 in the morning and nearly 100 of you are here watching this content, shows me how much you guys like Star Wars. Yep. Those of you who've been watching my Star Wars content, I've been positive about Star Wars. And I keep saying now is a good time to be a fan.
Well, you're positive because you like it. You're not.
I love it. I love it, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, this guy. I mean, I can't say anything like, "Oh, dude, like Ray's hair was a little." No, it was off.
Fine.
That's all you look at. Negative.
What are you doing? That strand out of place perfectly represents the balance of the Force. You bald buffoon. You motherfucker. No, but I mean, like, I like Star Wars quite a bit, obviously. And, but no, I keep saying it's a good time to be a fan. And I had a feeling deep down in my heart after seeing the first trailer for Mandalorian at D23 that it was gonna save Star Wars. And I did a video about that too.
Matt, it's a bad time.
So total, yeah, I know the movie's bombing. No one's seeing the movie. No one likes Baby Yoda.
The movie's done. We don't know when the next one's coming. And this show just ended today, and it was awesome. So it's like, what? I need more. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Concord also says, I think the Yoda species should be called Bendu because Jedi were originally called Bendu warriors. Now that is a good call. That's a good call. That's solid. I think that's a cool idea, man. I mean, because that would definitely tie into the idea of the Force and of Star Wars and stuff. That's pretty fantastic. Let's see here. Command Unit says here, Mando's helmet was taken off. I like that scene quite a bit. I love that scene quite a bit just because, and I'll bring the image up here too. And I liked it because Mando, he's wounded. He's so wounded, and he's been trying so hard.
Wait, I thought the theory was going to be a girl.
No, what? You thought Mando was? Oh, right. There was some rumor that was like, it's really a woman underneath the costume. She just taped her boobies down. We're Gwyneth Paltrow and Shakespeare in Love. Jesus. But I just love this shot because of Mando and just look how defeated he is, man. And he's like, I gotta, and he's like, I don't like droids. You can't take this thing off. And it was such a good exchange. And that right there, that shot right there kind of made me fall in love with like IG-11. Right, a little bit. I fell in love with IG-11. Then, of course, just like when he says his goodbye, like right here, I'm like, no, you bastard. Unlike the Rise of Skywalker, though, where they hinted at C-3PO going away, this actually did it. So good on them. Let's see here. Okay, it's amazing how they can take a single AT-ST or a single TIE fighter and seem more terrifying than a fleet of 10,000 Star Destroyers. No, that's actually really true. And as much as I love Rise of Skywalker, that's actually a fair point. That's a real fair point.
They have not gotten a good space battle. Maybe Rogue One the closest, but it's still not as good as the Empire Strikes Back.
I mean, well, I will say though, and it's not in the final cut of the movie, but in the first teaser trailer for Rogue One, when it shows them running on the beaches and that AT-AT is walking along and like turns and opens fire, I lost it. I thought that was so cool. And just giving us a ground perspective of dealing with that is something we haven't gotten a lot of, with the trilogies.
Maybe it has practical effects, man. I don't know.
Yeah, no, practical is a big part of it, but I really liked episode 4 with taking on the Raider AT-ST. I really enjoyed that. Let's see here. Okay, who needs Jedi clones and separatist droids? The IG units are the real thing in the galaxy. Straight up, dude. Straight up. All right. Did anyone think here for a second that the guy was from Rogue One? I got confused. Which guy?
Pedro Pascal.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can see your point. Yeah, Diego Luna and
that's why we're all Latino, man. We all similarity.
Yeah. The magic hand thing was funny. That was pretty funny. Do your little magic hands thing.
That was cool. Did you notice
spoilers? This is a spoiler stream. Of course, there's spoilers.
About the movie as well. We're gonna spoil a little bit, guys. Sorry. Did you notice that Carl Weather was drinking at the bar?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. He goes and gets some beer. I wonder what kind of brew that was, though. I wonder if it has any direct tie or whatever. So let's see here. Mando finally got his jetpack. Damn straight. Love that. I love that he got the jetpack. And again, now his armor's kind of complete, right? He kind of completed his training. He got his signet. He got the Mudhorn signet, which I'll bring that image up again for those of you who might be coming in late.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video, and maybe you should do a video like this too. Ideas for season 2.
Yeah,
where it's going. I think that'd be fun.
I'll probably end up having to do that, but I just love the Mudhorn signet that he got. I just think that's we're gonna see some people with some tattoos of that this year. I think we're gonna see some tattoos of that, of a Mudhorn signet, right? And that's gonna be true diehard Mando fans. I think I know that seems kind of dumb, but I'm
going on my lower back.
It's gonna be your tramp stamp.
You guys want to see that?
Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, referring to no movie spoilers. Yeah. Okay. I'll try. Let's see here. Has Disney released Baby Yoda merch yet? I've heard you can pre-order it, but I haven't looked at buying it yet.
I'm gonna do giveaways, by the way. I already have 2 Funkos. One I'm gonna give to you.
You fuck you.
I'm gonna give you a Funko.
Okay. Oh, you are. Oh, okay. I thought you said you weren't. I'm like, oh, well, then I'm gonna boot you out of here.
As an appreciation for all done, for the Nerd Report channel and stuff like that.
Well, I appreciate that. I do love Baby Yoda. Yeah, thank you. All right, so here I got warm feelings from that seeing Baby Yoda grin and enjoy the IG unit popping troopers while speeding through town. This was epic. This is look, as I will say this, I will legitimately say this, and I mean it. As much as I loved The Rise of Skywalker, and I did, this episode kind of usurped it in regards to just like kick acidness. Am I wrong?
Rise of Skywalker or this? Pick one, Matt, right now.
This.
Yeah,
100%.
It's not bad though, because
no, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's like Rise of Skywalker was a good movie. It was a fun movie, but this feels like new Star Wars. Even though that technically is new Star Wars, this feels like new Star Wars. It just because
we're taking note to put this kind of whatever it is in influence in the movies next time.
Yeah. I really hope so. Let's see here. Scott here says, I already plan to get a trip to get the tattoo. That's pretty funny. Go for it. Let's see. Thomas Smart here says, Rip Ugnut. That's right. Rip Kuil. Rip Kuil. That was real sad. Let me find that shot here. This is a nice funeral shot of the Ugnaught. Again, I thought he was a fantastic character. I loved him for what he was. He had such an interesting backstory. We didn't get a lot with, but we got enough to really care about the character. And this was a slave. He was a slave.
Was very thoughtful writing for the fans, because the fans, I mean, the casual viewer would not care, but I know that right now the uproar would be, because people like to complain about Star Wars. They'd be saying, hey, Kuil they didn't even care. You know what I mean? So it's a nice.
No, they cared. They gave him that nice little Western trope touch, and I like that quite a bit.
Love it.
Okay, so Axel here says, they said they're already filming season 2 before season 1 premiered, but how far do you think they are in the filming? They've been working on season 2 for a while. So, I mean, you figure these are around 4 to 6 months to shoot?
Well, look, I think they may be even done, but here's the problem. They're not going to release it until it's strategically beneficial for Disney Plus.
Which would be around the year mark, I believe.
That sucks.
But also potentially maybe Celebration. Because the first episode is going to be in the can by Celebration. That's just going to be a thing.
Well, we want the Blu-rays. So what they're going to do
I want the Blu-ray, yeah. I want the Blu-ray.
4K Blu-ray release with extras. Disney listening.
I want the soundtrack. I want the posters. I want the Baby Yoda merch. I want the Mando merch. I want Lego
size.
Sure. You know what? You can 3D print anything these days, buddy. I mean, I know it sounds like we're kind of like stupid, dumb fanboys here. I get that. I understand that.
I'm not. Maybe I'm stupid. It's your opinion, but I'm a fanboy. I don't give a.
I have no problem with this. Is a show that when I saw the trailer, I knew it was going to be good. And then when I first started watching it, I just, again, let me just kind of break this down here. What I love about this show is not necessarily the show itself. I'm not saying anything bad about the show. What I love about the show is how it united the Star Wars fans, how it brought everyone together for different reasons, most of which is Baby Yoda, because, hey, he's great. But it brought everyone together and made them start caring about Star Wars again. And I do think that has had a direct impact on the Rise of Skywalker box office and its reception by the fans. But when you look at the fact that on Christmas, I was on the YouTube community page sharing Baby Yoda Christmas memes. I'm friends with other people that we send each other Baby Yoda memes all the time, and the memes are great. They're not mean. They're not negative. These are memes that are made out of absolute pure love of the character, of the story, and they're hysterical. You know what my favorite one is? My favorite one are all the video clips of episode 5 when Baby Yoda was messing with the switches and people keep putting different music to it or different podcasts or whatever. It's really funny. And people do that all the time. Oh, we got a $5 super chat here.
Super chat. Thank you very much.
Let's see. Izzy here says, thank you so much, sir. Black Saber at the end is a direct tie into Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars. This is awesome. Oh, dude, 100%. You know what, man? You brought in the $5. You get the Dark Saber shot. That's all you.
And Izzy, you're awesome. Than's for supporting the channel.
Here, I'm gonna. If you're on Twitter, hit me up on Twitter, and I'll send you a screenshot of this particular caption right here because you're a kick-asser. But no, I love that. I've been watching Clone Wars right now. I've been watching, getting into the show a bit more and really loving how Filoni built the world. And I know Lewis and I here go back and forth. I keep going Filoni. I would fillet Filoni. And then he's like, he's just one guy. We need more of him.
We do need more. We need more Jon Favreau's, and we need more. We need more because these guys, we want them to concentrate on the Mandalorian. We don't want to break the horse's back. That's creating all this great stuff. We need more people. Lucasfilm needs to hire more people. There's a lot of people that love Star Wars that are great writers and directors, aspiring people who are hungry to prove themselves, and they need to be interviewed and trained a little, and then go get, because we got we know that Obi-Wan's already in the can, but for future stuff.
Well, and that's the thing too. I thought about this. I thought Mando was going to be saved by Obi-Wan, and then I thought they're probably shooting the cameo for season 2. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. Let's see here. All right, hold on. Wait. Even you're watching episode 8 right now, and you're on here. What are you doing? Go back. Watch this after the fact. Rewatch this. Yeah. I mean, we've been on for nearly 2 hours, and there's like nearly 100 people here. That's amazing for the middle of the damn night. You guys have no idea how much I love you. Let's see here. Command Unit says here, I hope Filoni takes over Star Wars. I want Filoni and Favreau to maybe not. I mean, to work with Feige, because I think Feige's got to take over. Right. If I'm being fair, it's not just
to stay at Marvel.
Well, maybe it's like not like 100.
Or let go of Marvel, come to Star Wars. But
I mean, he's got a lot on his plate right now. I admit that. Yeah.
And so I'll be the first one to say here, Dave Filoni is a great addition to the Mandalorian. Rebels is his thing, but his
Rebels and Clone Wars.
Yes, he's great at that. I think that's his strength. The episodes he directed, though, are the weakest ones, in my opinion.
Even the first one?
They're considered the weakest one. As a matter of fact, the show, the only time it wobbled was with the episode he directed, which was a great place. They had it. Tatooine was great, but it was too much winking at the camera, too many goofy characters. And, all we got was that first-time actor guy. I don't know why he was in there. He was a poor actor that ended up slamming the good movie that we have right now. So it was like a lose situation. So
well, there's that. I think he also did the pilot, and the pilot was good.
Pilot was good, but it had a lot of that green alien felt Star Trek-y, and there was a lot of people going, I don't know.
I like Horatio Sands, and there was a comedian in almost every episode. That's what I love about it. There's like in this last episode, Sudeikis, SNL vet, very funny guy.
Fit the Star Wars universe. They need direction. You can't. That lady in the episode with on Tatooine was just that was a holiday special, bro. I mean,
then again, they're both Favreau and Filoni love the holiday special.
People don't like the holiday special. It's not.
I think there's a bit larger affinity.
Super chat.
Oh, there's another one?
Yeah, they're pouring in.
Oh, $2 here from 4 DBZ Maddox. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Just because. That's awesome.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. It keeps it going. All right, let's see here. Scott Campbell here says, do you think the January announcement is Favreau taking over for Kathleen Kennedy and Filoni making the jump to movie director? No, I actually don't think that. And I say that not because I don't want it. I do actually, but I think right now they're going to be plotting out where to go. I should say, I do think that Favreau will be directing the movie. I do. I think he's going to be doing 2022. Right?
Eventually he will.
I think he's 2022. I think it's that. I think the success of Mandalorian, the rocky start to Rise of Skywalker, they're looking at it like John. He just, they're almost done with season 2, probably.
Izzy with a $10 super chat.
Oh wow!
That deserves an arm wave. Woo!
Oh damn! He's gonna give you the truffle stuff here in a second. Let me just bring that up here. Let's see here. Hey, I have a question for you guys. Who would the Knights of Ren really be? The Knights of Ren, as in Sabine Wren? Because that would be awesome if they were Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine Wren. That would be cool, but then they'd be bad guys. So I don't quite know how I feel about that, but I get where you're going with that. I guess one of my biggest complaints probably was we didn't really get any explanation of anything about the Wrens, right? The Knights of Ren, what the hell that meant.
I think there was a throwaway line where Luke in The Last Jedi said something about Kylo Ren destroying the temple and then leaving with a handful of his students. And I think in my mind, those were the Knights of Ren.
Well, that was kind of what was alluded to, but in the new comic that came out, like it kind of it implies that Snoke did it. So, and don't say spoilers because we have people who haven't seen spoilers yet. So, don't say anything about anything. Last Jedi is fine because we saw Last Jedi. That was 2 years ago. I'm talking anything Rise of Skywalker related. So, I don't know. I gotta go watch Star Wars series videos on it. Here's a great one here. Thank you again, Izzy, so much for that. Thank you so much. Robert here says, what if the Mandalorian is force sensitive and not such a great fighter after all? Maybe. I love that he got tore up. He got tore up so many times in the episodes. It was great to see like the hero not be invincible. That was the thing that the guy tweeted. Oh, the Keller cast is so OP. Did you not watch the part where the dude got a major concussion from an explosion that almost left him for dead, unless there was an IG nurse droid that was able to use a back to spray on his head? I mean, come on.
The cast is not OP. I don't see that at all. But I mean, I respect your opinion if you think that. But
that was the guy on Twitter. No one in here. Everyone here is cool. You're all cool. Okay. The guy on Twitter can eat a dick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Colin here says, what era of Star Wars would you like the 2020 movie will be set in? Or do you think? I'm thinking Old Republic, man. I'm thinking Old Republic. And the reason why I say that is because if they are tying as much to the Mandalorian right now as I think they are, that getting the Dark Saber, making that a key component of like the next movies, kind of maybe like that did take place during the Old Republic. So at least according to Wikipedia,
I think they got to start making one shots.
I mean, I guess
I don't think I do trilogies right now.
Not trilogies. They're going to be doing like anthologies. It's going to be like It's going to be like long form. They're going to look. What I think they're going to do, and this is the smarter plan, is they're going to sit there and they're going to take the movie. They're going to take the concept and they're going to like go. We're going to plan out 5 fucking movies. We're going to do phases. Phases are coming to Star Wars because phases work. And Disney wants to, they want Star Wars to eventually usurp Marvel. They don't really care who gives them the money, but they want to kind of put them in competition with one another. And honestly, bringing in somebody of Feige's producing talent to be able to craft that tire. And I think Favreau could do it too. I think after doing the show and maybe treating it like it's vignettes to one greater story, perhaps, can work out. Because it kind of plays out like a phase, right? Didn't the season feel a bit more like a phase? You know, you had your core story, a couple of the stories tied into that, but then a couple other ones are kind of doing their own thing, but still played within that sandbox.
I still think this is the serial, the weekly serial, to the T.
I know. I don't disagree with you on that. Let's see. Command here says the Mandalorian Jedi Wars needs a movie series. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be good to watch.
I think we're gonna get so much that Darth Revan movie. Huh?
Roman numerals in the house.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? Let's see. Xavier here says Darth Revan in a movie. Now, I didn't get a chance to watch the video, but apparently Disney just confirmed that Darth Revan and Darth Plagueis are part of canon. I mean, obviously Plagueis is. We know that from Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. But Darth Revan, that's what people want. And I think if they're establishing Darth Revan as canon right now, that means they're leading towards the Old Republic. I'm telling you right now, Star Wars is going to go full on fan service in the next couple of years. No, they have to. I mean, look,
it's got to be smart, like the Mandalorian, though.
Smart fan service, right? I mean, look, you want to sit there and say, like, I think episode 5, the fans, I like episode 5 for the fan service. I didn't like the new additions.
Man.
I didn't care about that.
I did.
It would have been in your face if they would have gone to Hangar 92.
Yeah, but they were like talking about womp rats all day. It's like, dude, we know you're on Tatooine. I love the setting. I love the setting. I would have rather them landed on Tatooine and ignore the fact that they were on Tatooine. We fans should have been losing our shit. Instead, it seemed like they were fanboying because they saw A New Hope during the episode.
I don't know. I loved it. Well, here's my question to the audience. Here's my question, because we'll be on maybe like another 10 minutes or something like that. So we'll keep it around 2 hours.
I know. Dude. Usually you want to get off after 5 minutes.
Well, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like kind of hyped up because the show. Yeah, it's like 3 o'clock.
Super chats, man.
Super chats. Chapter 6 was underwhelming.
This
Whatever,
is the
dude. I'm not even. No, that's Roman numerals. It says chapter 6 was underwhelming.
What was that? I forgot.
That was the prison freighter episode.
No, that was awesome, man.
Yeah, that was Mando was Batman. I don't even know what you're talking about on that one right there, dude.
Dude, that was awesome. And I think those characters are gonna come back.
So I think like when it comes to Star Wars, obviously one thing we've learned over the course of the past couple of years has been, if it's not related to the Skywalker saga and it's not related to the Force directly, Jedi's directly, it has a tendency of being received better. And I say that because Rogue One is generally well received by everyone. If you talk to people who aren't a big fan of the sequel trilogy, you go, well, what is it you like? And they'll be like, oh man, fucking Rogue One was lit. It was a good show. It was a good movie. Nothing, barely anything to do with the Force on that one.
Yeah.
And then, cause it felt like a war. And then it's like, then we get into even the Clone Wars, it was a Force. So that was like, but the thing is, they need time with the characters. That's the biggest complaint I have with the sequel trilogy. And even the original trilogies, I didn't feel we got a lot of time with the characters, but it felt like we got more time with them in the original trilogy. Here, they just kept trying to like add new people into the mix and like take up screen time, and like no one cared.
For the new one?
For the new sequel trilogy, yeah.
And then no one's happy. Like okay, so they introduced a lot of new characters. They're not the main character. And then people start to like these characters. And if they're not in the movie for half an hour, taking up screen time, they start tweeting about how bad it is. Like, for example, Rose Tico. Yeah. And then like, how bad it is to have a movie that's you ignore your main characters for a side character for 5 minutes. That will derail your film badly.
But then you give her 1 minute and 16 seconds in the next movie as screen time.
She's not a main character.
I know. I'm fine with the Rose Tico screen time. I'm merely pointing out that there was all those people on Twitter that were so upset that they gave her 1 minute and 16 seconds. Right?
Well, they were saying that J.J. Abrams got rid of, didn't want to have Rose Tico in there. They're just assuming that he didn't have Rose Tico in there because it was a Rian Johnson character. But to be fair, if you want to argue that, who's the guy that J.J. Abrams always has, the chubby rebel?
Oh, guy? Snap Wexley. Is that
his name? No.
Greg Gunberg, his name, but he was Snap Wexley in the movie.
In the Last Jedi,
he wasn't there.
Because why? I could say, hey, maybe Rian Johnson's is like fat dudes, and he's discriminating against me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we needed more Snap Wexley in the Last Jedi, right?
Represented by him because he was not skinny.
Okay, so let's. So Command Unit here says, I think Knights of Ren are going to be used in movies and TV shows. I don't think we're done with Knights of Ren yet. I have a weird feeling, I just have this weird feeling we're going to get like a Kylo Ren show. Robert here says, I think we're going to meet more people from the Clone Wars and the rest during season 2 of The Mandalorian. And here's the thing, I agree with you. Now, did you see what Dave Filoni put on Twitter? Or he might have put on Instagram. I'll put on Twitter. People were talking about Filoni, and they were talking about his about Ahsoka, right? Because everyone wants to know what the hell happened to Ahsoka. Well, this is what he put up on Twitter. He says it's let me bring a bigger image here. It's Gandalf and Ahsoka, and it says, people thought I was dead too. Look how that turned out. And this should give a lot of diehard Clone Wars fans a little bit of probably hope for what could be coming down the pipeline in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Because if the Dark Saber, which I don't believe Sabine had, someone had mentioned that she didn't have it, but then I kind of looked it up and it says she gave it to somebody else. But if Ahsoka is hanging out with Gandalf, and that's not Gandalf the White, that's Gandalf the fucking Gray. All right, that is the first iteration of Gandalf. Then this should tell you that like something is happening with this. We might be getting a full blown Ahsoka. And if it's not, and I'll be fair, I'll be realistic here. if it's not played by Ashley Eccleston, I'm not going to be happy because she's the voice. She's the voice of Ahsoka, you know? So is that anyway? I know I'm going to try to run through these as fast as we can because I know it's getting late. Let's see here. A Thrawn and Ezra movie. Look, people just want Thrawn. People just want Thrawn. Put Thrawn, smartly written Thrawn series in play. People will lose their damn minds. And who said? Hold on. There was a comment I saw. I don't want to miss it. It was about the Legends. Someone had said make Legends canon again. And I kind of want to agree with that. I can't find it. I'm sorry. But someone had said that. I saw someone say that. Make Legends canon again. So, all right. Roman numeral says here a Wookiee spinoff series. I would watch it. Would you watch a Wookiee spinoff series?
It's going to need a lot of subtitles.
So?
Yeah, why not?
Weren't you saying that was something you enjoyed about the season?
No, I mean, not for like 2 hours at a time, bro.
What, you've never seen an international film?
Yeah, but
aren't you Latino?
The tone of what they're saying is different. We'd be listening to for an hour.
But I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. That's me. I'd be like, all right, let's watch this. Let's watch this Wookiee international film. Ooh, he wants to put it in her ass. This is interesting.
Wait for you.
Anyway, anyone here see their Obi-Wan fan film? I've heard of it. I haven't watched it. It's not it. I need to.
It's cool.
Okay. X-Teen. Sorry, I said it wrong. What's different about the fan film? Good or bad?
I think it's good. It's good, but it contradicts, like, if you want to be real nitpicky, it contradicts like what happened in the movies.
Oh,
like
okay.
Something I don't want to spoil it.
Well, it's a fan film. You know, they're going to take liberties.
Could I say it? Is that considered a spoiler?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil it.
We can review it later.
Well, yeah, we can review it. That's fine. We can do. I mean, because this is a really fun stream. We gotta do more.
To that thing that at least it does it maybe once, but I hate when fan films start repeating the same dialogue from the original trilogy or the other movies. Like the Star Wars Theory fan film was awesome, except it was the same repeating what Vader said. Like, I find your lack of faith disturbing. You know, it's like, yeah, dude, we saw him say that 1,000 times already.
Well, it's fan film. Let's see here. Concord says a Rogue Squadron series would be dope.
Yep.
God, I know people in here who haven't seen Rise of Skywalker yet, so I don't want to spoil it, but I've heard rumors. Again, I will say that my source is Mikey Sutton, good, bad, whatever. He's had a couple wins recently. We were talking, and he told me about the potential Donald Glover Lando Calrissian show for Disney Plus. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's real or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so. 100%.
Well, look, they may have talked about it, but I don't think it's going to happen because Donald Glover is too big of an actor.
Is he?
Yeah, he's too big of an actor. He'd have to be in every episode, and we know about Pedro Pascal. He's not in the suit.
Well, so he's not always in the suit, but he's in the suit. When I'm talking about
in the suit much,
Donald Glover is on Atlanta on FX, right? And that is like, it's got 2 seasons, no start time for a season 2. He just did the voice for Lion King. He wasn't like mocapping it, you know. And then he's got his music, and Childish Gambino had a good year last year. So he could do a 6-episode run, right? Because these are not going to be like, 21 episode seasons. These are going to be like short 6 to 8 episodes. And the reason why I bring it up is because, there's a part in Rise of Skywalker where Lando talks about something he did with Luke Skywalker. And I'm not going to say what it is. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to see it. But those two are together. And now I'm wondering if we would potentially see a Luke and Lando TV show. Imagine that. Like
Billy
Luke
D.
and,
Williams, I would like to see.
Billy D is Billy D. But I mean, like,
Billy D. Williams do something now set after the Rise of Skywalker. That's if he survived or not. Because if they could resurrect him if he died, or if he survived, no spoilers, he could still do a show. So I don't know.
I would love to see. I think at this point, like, I'm more excited with what Disney's going to be doing with Disney Plus and Star Wars in the next year. I mean, we know Cassian Andor films in a couple months. Obi-Wan films, I think, mid next year. And then, like, what else are you going to do? You know, I mean, we know Mando season 2 and Clone Wars season 7, but I think that's going to wrap it up. So I don't know, man. It's going to be one of those things. Anyway, we've been on for almost officially 2 whole hours. Let's go a couple rapid fire questions. If anyone here wants to do some quick, really quick questions, we'll talk about that. Any final super chats are always greatly appreciated. I'm not going to say. Shidoko here says it's nighttime. I agree with you. So it's a film and not a series. No. They're all series on there. Obi-Wan's going to be a series, but I think it's going to end up being like, I've heard anywhere between 4 and 6 episodes.
They could actually have a film on Disney Plus. Why not?
Yeah, they could.
Togo is awesome. If you guys haven't seen that,
it's on there. It's on my list of things to watch. Let's see here. I want to see Collider Video make a deep fake of Jar Jar doing a Hillary Clinton speech. That'd be pretty good. Okay,
over there with the deep fake. So
I think they're burning out. They're burning it out a bit.
There's
yeah,
too many of them.
Yeah, and they're not all that funny. Okay, here Colliner says, "Have you all heard of the Yuzhan Vong? That's the Throng."
So, Matt, are you still on, or am I the one that's off? But it seems like something. Could you guys hear me in the chat? Could you guys hear me? It looks like Matt may have had some technical difficulties, and maybe he'll still come on. I don't know what's going on. The counter is still going, but let me know in the chat real quick if you could hear me, if you could hear Matt, or did my computer freeze? Matt cut off. So I'm on. Am I on? Is Lewis on? Okay. Not sure what happened. Maybe the lights went out at Matt Jarvel's house. I'm taking over $3 Theater, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there I am. I'm out of sync. Anyways, we were planning to end this in a few moments. Anyways, so I'm gonna thank everyone for tuning in. We had almost 100 people. Don't forget to press like. This will be on his channel even though we're live right now. So press like, share it, subscribe, and let us know what you thought of the season finale of The Mandalorian, and maybe if you have some thoughts of what the show should do in the future, that would be cool too. I know we're going to be doing some videos on that. To our next video, thank you very much. This is Louis Lecca for $3 Theater. See you guys later.